Hello, I'm Sheila Krumholz of the Center for Responsive Politics, which maintains opensecrets.org. And I'm speaking about the congressional expenditure reports. House statements of disbursement reports and Senate statements of receipts and expenditures show the public how the denizens of Capitol Hill spend taxpayer-funded allowances to run their offices. These allowances range from $1 to $5 million, varying according to chamber and home state distance from D.C. The reports offer itemized expenses and summary tabulations for each office. Since 2009, these quarterly House reports and semi-annual Senate reports have been published online as PDF images on the House and Senate websites to increase government transparency and accountability. Digital reports cover 2009 through last September. However, PDF is not as accessible as it should be. It should be searchable, sortable, and downloadable. If it's not, then posting the image online is better, but not necessarily that much better than a pile of paper reports. For instance, with considerable effort and expense, the SunlightFoundation has been able to scrape the House PDF data, images into data, but not the Senate reports. So it should be, and it could be, since the data is presented as a list, not forms, so it must already be in data form, then printed and scanned. This is the only place where taxpayer-funded data on House office expenses, like personnel, including salaries, but also information about the official, for whom staff worked and when, as well as office expenses and contractor fees, are freely available to the public. This is especially valuable because, quite often, Hill staffers spin through the revolving door to more lucrative careers, lobbying their former colleagues on behalf of private interests, an activity that also merits more transparency and public scrutiny. People are most interested in comparative analysis of overall spending, the ability to correlate it with the detail and data about staff salaries, etc. But other expenses also merit scrutiny. For instance, the franking budget has caused controversy, even scandal, in the past. So it's all potentially of interest. And if this is something people care about and should monitor, why not use the technology we have available to make it as easy as possible to access? This is low-hanging fruit. And the promise of transparency, that is, the filing of these periodic reports, remains only partly fulfilled until we do what we can to ensure accessibility. We know that you're not up here throwing wild parties and Wii tournaments. We know these accounts fund less exciting things like printing postage and paper clips. Unfortunately, the current level of access is not sufficient to help achieve this access. Online PFDs are no longer considered a means to providing meaningful access to information. We need machine-readable data. Reporters and watchdog groups, including the National Taxpayers Union, SunlightFoundation, Open Congress, and of course CRP, plus academics, data developers, and engaged citizens encourage this change to make access to the public record more meaningful and useful. Please contact us if you have questions, and thank you for your interest.